everyone, welcome to my Nioh 2 tier list video. This will be a tier list of the weakest yokai in Nioh 2. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Nioh 2, just think of it as Dark Souls or a Elden Ring, but Japanese. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if you want to see more content. And let me know in the comments what you guys think are the weakest yokai in Nioh 2. Let me know if I missed anything. Anyways, let's get started with the tier list, starting with the lowest tier. You guys can probably guess why it's called cake tier. Because we're ranking which yokai has the fattest booty. No, not at all. But that does sound like a video I'd make one day. Probably. So the reason why it's called cake tier is because fighting these yokai are a piece of cake. Let's start off with the weakest. The Kappas. There you are. You piece of garbage. Or as I like to call them, Franklin on meth. There are two types of Kappas in this game, the green one and the red one. Both are equally pathetic. However, the red one is slightly less pathetic. A majority of the time when I encounter a green Kappa, they would always run and wouldn't put up much of a fight. No! 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 Oh no! Please don't kill me. Okay, never mind. For the red Kappa, they actually fight you back instead of running away. However, its moveset is somewhat similar to its green cousin.
Go crazy! Go stupid! Ah! Go crazy! Go stupid! Ah!
Up next, we have Bob. Yes, the blue slime from Monsters vs. Aliens, voiced by Seth Rogen. Obviously, I'm joking, but this thing looks just like him. These are the slimes. The slimes are easy, predictable attacks, and are very slow. I have to note that there are three types of slimes: the regular water slime, the toxic slime, and the blood slime. None of these types even matter because they're all equally pathetic. They may have different movesets and different powers, but they're all ultimately the same when it comes to combat prowess. All you have to do is get close to them, wait for them to headbutt, block it, and they'll reveal their weak spot. Then you can beat their ass. Easy. Next we have the Onibis. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. The Onibis are floating heads that attack you. There's three types of them. There's the lightning one, the water one, and the fire one. All three are cake. All you have to do is hit them with one strong hit and they're pretty much cooked. I'd be careful once you take them down though. Sometimes they get sick with explosives. Aside from that, you do get an elemental buff with whichever type you killed. In conclusion, they're pretty weak, just like the slimes and Kappas, but at least they look cool. Finally, for cake tier, we have the small spider, the small crab, and the small fox spirit. These yokai all have a bigger version of them, but we'll get to those later. I don't have a lot to say about them other than they're insanely weak. At least they put up a fight, unlike the green Kappa. But they don't do much damage whatsoever and are very easy to kill. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Up next, we have the Dwellers.
Oh! Nice.
I was debating if I should put these guys on cake tier because they're so easy to kill, but they do have some things going on for them. For one, they have a grab. None of the yokais in cake tier have a grab. However, their grab is pretty useless if you're prepared. All they do is poison you if they grab you, and it can be easily fixed if you have an antidote. Aside from their grab, their attacks are slow and predictable, and if they fail to grab you, they fall on their ass, leaving them wide open for a critical blow. I almost forgot, there's another type of dweller. It's literally just a dweller with a bomb strapped to it. You really can just run away from it until it explodes. Oh shit. That's pretty much it for the dweller though. They also look very gross. Very, very gross. Ugh. Up next, we have the Kuroka. The Kuroka may look scary, and it does have a really cool moveset since it uses sorcery. However, it's still pathetic as hell. Let me show you how I deal with their sorcery. See? It's that easy, and it doesn't even have to be a rock. It can be a bow, a gun, or even a cannon. The only thing you really have to watch out for is their special attack. Specifically the special attack where the Kuroka charges at you. It also has another special attack where it shoots fire from its mouth. But it's so damn easy to dodge, literally just back up. That's it. That's all you have to do. Next on the list is the Skeleton Warrior. The Skeleton Warrior is a very common yokai you'll see throughout the game. It's not that strong. I don't know if it has a grab, but its strong point is that it's always conveniently placed at a vantage point to mess with you when you're fighting another yokai. Oh god. I'm pretty sure that's more of a game design rather than the yokai, but whatever. On their own, they're weak as fuck. However, if you do get hit once, they do pretty good damage. I don't have anything else to add for the skeleton warrior, so that's it. They're just really annoying. And now the final yokai for D tier is the umbrella. The umbrella is fast, agile, and has an unpredictable moveset. It's also pretty freaky. However, the only reason why it's on D tier is because it can paralyze you if you're not careful. Most of the time it's avoidable if you just block though. But that concludes D tier. Remember the skeleton warrior and the dwellers? Well, they have a bigger version of them. First, let's start with the big dweller. For the big dwellers, they're pretty much the exact same when it comes to moveset. The only difference is that they don't flinch when you hit them anymore. They do more damage, and they take longer to kill. Nothing special, just a dweller who took a Mario mushroom upgrade. Their attacks are also slower, so I guess that's a plus. Next is the big skeleton. The big skeleton also took a Mario mushroom upgrade, and now has a giant axe as a weapon. Its moveset is completely different from the regular skeleton warrior, but it's slow and predictable. Its special attack is also predictable and is easy to counter. It's not too much of a threat, but it does do a lot of damage if you're not careful. Lastly, we have the Yamanba. Apparently the Yamanba is an old woman who got possessed and turned into a yokai or something. I don't know. I'm not too caught up on the lore of this game. Anyways, the Yamanba isn't too strong, but its strong point are these giant ass knives it carries around. Most attacks are easily avoidable and blockable, but it's the fact that they can also throw their knives at you. Also, their grab is pretty off-putting. If you get them low enough, they'll start doing a certain lunge attack and fall on the floor. Once they fall, they activate their grab and crawl to you. Very creepy. It may not be the strongest yokai because honestly, you can just shoot its yellow horns and it'll lose most of its stamina. But it is pretty creepy. And that concludes C tier. For B tier, we have the big spider and the aberrant soldier. The big spider, as you can guess, is the same as a small spider, but again just took a Mario mushroom upgrade. Same moveset overall, doesn't flinch and takes longer to kill. The most frustrating thing about the big spider is that it can slow you down if it spits its webs at you. Can spiders even do that in real life? I'm pretty sure strings come out of its butt, or whatever it's called. I don't think webs come out of spiders' mouths. I don't know. But either way, if you get caught in its web attack, it slows you down dramatically, which makes it even harder to fight, like you're moving in slow motion. I don't know if they have a grab, but if they do, I bet it's pretty nasty. The aberrant soldier. This is another common yokai you'll see throughout the game. There's different types of aberrant soldiers. The different types are actually pretty cool, but they're only part of the DLC. The DLC versions are pretty much the same and come with two different types, the crab soldier and the wind soldier. They have the same movesets as the regular one, so we'll just focus on the regular aberrant soldier for now. The regular one shoots its arm at you from a distance, which is annoying as hell because it's like the skeleton warriors. They are conveniently placed at a vantage point to annoy you when you fight other yokai. It also has a grab where they grab you, pin you down, and basically blast your face with explosives. Very cool. Their movesets are actually pretty cool because it mimics attacks from different yokai. I'm pretty sure the aberrant soldier mimics an attack from the N key. Overall, this yokai isn't that strong on its own. It has a giant weak spot on its arm if you can't see. If you hit it enough, it'll give you the chance to critically damage them. And that concludes B tier.
No, I can't laugh yet. I've got to hold it in.
Alright, For A tier, we're getting to the yokais that are a bit annoying. The Gaki. Forget the skeleton warrior or the aberrant soldier. The Gaki is the number one yokai you'll see repeatedly for the entire game. They are quite literally in almost every mission you enter. They can sneak up on you, they'll jump on you, and their paralyzing ability is also annoying. Sometimes, right when you're about to kill them, they'll release a paralyzing ability where if you step on it, you'll be paralyzed, giving the Gaki time to recover. Now I know the Gaki is very weak on its own, and yes, the Gaki is absolutely pathetic. However, it's a problem when the Gaki grabs you, or if a Gaki eats another Gaki. It then turns into a giant Gaki. The giant Gaki is much stronger. It makes it so that if there are multiple Gakis, you will have to kill the one you've been fighting immediately before one can eat the other. It's not that hard to kill the bigger Gaki, but it just makes it much more of a drag, or even at times may lead to your death if you're fighting other yokai and a Gaki turns into a big Gaki. Very annoying. Next, for A tier, we have the Big Fox Spirit. The Big Fox Spirit is just like the small one, but took a Mario Mushroom upgrade. I think I'm starting to see a pattern here. The movesets are pretty similar, however, the Big Fox Spirit can do sorcery now. Their sorcery isn't even that strong. They just hurl slow fireballs at you. Pretty underwhelming if you ask me. But the main reason why they're a bit difficult to handle is because you'll rarely see the Big Fox Spirit in missions. If you do get to see one, they're not that hard to kill honestly, but I'd say the fact that you don't see them often is how they can be a bit difficult to kill. Like with every Dark Souls type game, every enemy has a pattern. Once you learn the enemy's attack pattern, they're pretty easy to handle depending on the type of enemy. Lastly is the Biwa Boku Boku, or the old bald guitar dude. If I'm gonna be honest, the only reason why this yokai is on A tier is because of its ability. It doesn't attack, it doesn't do anything if you get close. It'll continually play its guitar or whatever the fuck it's playing like nothing is happening. If it did attack, I wouldn't even see it as weak honestly. Now the part that makes it annoying is its ability to summon revenants from bloody graves. Pretty sure the game does this on purpose because fuck you, that's why. It just makes it annoying because until the old bald guitar dude is killed, the bloody graves will spawn a revenant each time you get close to it. The revenants aren't that hard to fight. The game doesn't make it happen all the time, but it is still quite annoying. And that concludes A tier.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for!
This is mid tier. Mid tier are yokai that are moderately difficult but also aren't heavy hitters like other yokai in the game. They're not yokais that would make you want to sit upright on a seat basically. They probably want to make you raise an eyebrow though. First we have the one-eyed imp. You look familiar. The one-eyed imp is so damn weak. Check this out. Yep. However, it's important to note that if you let it lick you a couple times, it will steal your energy and turn into a Cyclops. Now a Cyclops is on an entirely different tier from all these yokai, but just know if you dodge its lick attacks and kill it immediately, you will be fine. Fucking. Or just do what I do and shoot its eyeball from a distance with an arrow or a gun. Pretty easy. Next is the Rokuro Kobi. Rest in peace. Rokuro Kubi? Rokuro Kubi. Now, Rokuro Kubi is a yokai that acts as a normal soldier. However, if it's detected by you, it will show its true form. There's also times where it'll stay in its human form and fight as a human. If you fight it while it's a human, it won't flinch whatsoever like normal humans do in the game. Its real form is way out of whack. This thing can shoot fire at you, can shoot poison at you, can launch its long ass neck at you, and I'm pretty sure its grab is a one-hit kill. Pretty strong I'd say, but its flaw is that it's very slow. It won't run, it'll just walk very slowly, and it's not very agile either. Honestly, you can just run away from it if you really don't want to fight it. It'll probably just forget about you. It's not too hard to kill because if you keep your distance and shoot its head with a gun or a bow, it'll do critical damage to it. It might even take out its whole stamina bar and leave it open for a critical attack. Next, we have the Wheel Monk. The Wheel Monk is a possessed wheel with a face on it? I don't know. It's fast, agile, and its powers deal with fire. It'll spit out fire, it's covered in fire, and makes a trail out of fire. You'll get a lot of burn effects if you're not careful fighting this thing. But it has one giant weak spot, the back. The back of the Wheel Monk is its most vulnerable spot. If you get the chance to hit its back, it'll get knocked out immediately. Bink! It doesn't give you a chance to do a critical blow though, which is kinda dumb. However, don't stay too long beating it when it's down because it'll recover quickly, and when it recovers, it'll engulf itself with flames. Not to mention, its attacks are very straight. I guess it makes sense since it's a wheel, but it just makes its attacks really predictable. Lastly is a big crab fucker, or the Bakegani. The Bakegani is just a small crab, but The big crab fucker is annoying. I say it's annoying because you can't hit it anywhere else unless it's the back. Pretty similar to the wheel monk. However, it doesn't matter how strong you are in the game. If you don't hit its back, it'll be like throwing a crumbled piece of paper at it. No gun, no cannon, and no bow will do anything to it. Makes sense because it's a crab, I mean. Yeah, I guess they got that part down. It also has some pretty cool attacks. There's one where it sprays water at you, one where it shoots paralyzing bubbles at you, and it can charge at you. Not too much of a threat, but it is a bit annoying. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, officially concludes the weakest yokai in Nioh 2. Again guys, please let me know if I missed anything or if I got something wrong in the comments. By no means am I a Nioh 2 expert. However, I do have 200 hours, so I could say I have some credibility. Thank you everyone, and have a good one.